Here we go once again, riding on in. It's the Outlaw Posse now in effect. And today's four horsemen shout-outs go to Sheldon Lamey, Fred Bagley, Marshall Jenkins, and Eric Taco Marino saddled up, mounted up, ready to go. And they're going to help us with today's college football invasion. Also, check our sponsors out at the bottom of this feed down here. McFab LLC laser cleaning powder-coated signage. As you can see, he made a nice little powder-coated sign for me here of the Outlaw. Also, we have Moe's Woodsmith Shop. Let me reach down here and get that. He can put anything on a piece of board. Never any lasers used. Handcrafted boards of any kind of piece of wood you want something on. This here is a cutting board he made me. Anything you want on a piece of board, Eric can do it. Also, his wife, Alicia Mofield, you'll see her information at the bottom as well. She does a lot of jewelry and accessories and whatnot. And check her out at paparazziaccessories.com. Now, let's get to the show. I'm going to bring up for y'all real quick. See what y'all think about this. This is the SEC and the Big Ten. They claim that the SEC and the Big Ten are rigging college football. This is what USA Today is saying. Here it is. SEC and Big Ten are stacking college football playoff deck. Would be so pathetic and unnecessary. Key points. As the SEC and Big Ten debate how to stack the college football playoff deck, their actions are as pathetic as they are unnecessary. How's that a key point? USA Today, I think, is a liberal spastic news outlet. SEC and Big Ten are home to incredible football games. Why should they need preordained college football bids? That I actually agree with. I don't like the automatic bids. I don't like it. Even though my team got screwed, so did Ole Miss and South Carolina, I don't think you should get automatic bids. Any automatic bids whatsoever. SEC and Big Ten leaders reportedly consider an expanded playoff with bids pre-assigned to conferences. And the reason why they're doing that is because they screwed Alabama, I can guarantee you. Because the SEC got 3 and the Big Ten got 4 in. And as you go on down here, playoff expansion to 14 or 16 is under consideration. This would be gluttonous, considering the first team left out of the 12-team bracket last season finished with 4 losses. Speaking of Alabama, taking a shot at my team, 3 of which came with teams with a combined 21-18 record. Yeah, but Alabama did beat Georgia. We did beat Missouri. We beat a lot of good teams. We beat a lot of good teams. We didn't beat Tennessee. I wish we had. I almost said Tennessee. So fine, go ahead and expand. Yeah. The more pitiful development is how the bids in this reformatted playoff would be assigned. At least half the bids with a 14 to 16 team playoff would be reserved for the SEC and Big Ten before the season even kicks off in one format the conferences are exploring. What you would have is they call this, as you scroll down here a little bit, they call it the 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 format. Just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Now, while they are attacking my conference, the SEC, I have to be fair. And fairly speaking, I think they got a point. Why does the SEC and the Big Ten need automatic bids? I mean, they're going if they go to 16 teams, they're going to both get 4 in most years anyway. And if they don't, they just didn't deserve to get in. It's easy, man. Why is this all got to be so damn hard for these people to collaborate together and make this thing work? Hey, how hard is it to say, all right, look, let's bring back the BCS formula, rank the teams, the top 16 get in. The top 16. That's all you need, man. You don't need no 4 automatics this, 4 automatics that, 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 0.5 or whatever else they're going to start making up next. You don't need all that shit, man. Just have 16 bids to the 16 highest ranked teams overall. Take the BCS formula, the AP formula, and the coaches poll, put all 3 of those together, and come up with a top 16. And if your conference don't get nobody in there, it's because you suck ass and you don't deserve to be in there. Yes, please, everybody smash the like button, as Killer Breeze just said. We'll take a second, jump out, smash it. Running a little low tonight. I consider this would probably that way, it being a Friday night, but I just wanted to get in here and haul around with y'all and rub elbows with everybody. I hadn't seen y'all in a while, so the loyalists, or most of them, are here, so that's a good thing. Donnie says the Big 12 should have made sure that Nebraska and Oklahoma kept playing every year. Would have been nice. Texas A&M, same thing, right? A lot of people forget, they don't really put a lot of stock into this. Oklahoma State. Alabama, Mississippi State are the campuses are the closest in the SEC. While they're in two different states, Tuscaloosa is pretty close to the Mississippi State line. So is Starksville. Starksville is actually closer to Tuscaloosa than Auburn is. Tuscaloosa is actually closer to Starksville than Oxford is to Starksville. And they had played each other every year since the 1950s, or maybe the late 1940s, and they didn't play each other this year. Nobody made a big deal out of it, though. It's only made a big deal out of if it's one of those gargantuan traditional games that we're accustomed to seeing every year. Can you imagine Michigan and Ohio State not playing? That's what it was like to me when Texas and Texas A&M went away, when Oklahoma and Nebraska went away. Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, I'm going to piss some people off saying it, but they were a charity case. Yeah, they started competing a little bit better this century, but for the most part, that series was a charity case. That was Oklahoma basically carrying Oklahoma State for the better part of 100-plus years. Okey pokey chokey state. Y'all don't like it? Y'all should have won more games. Y'all should have at least been competitive with Oklahoma and kept it within 20 games, like LSU and Auburn do Alabama. Greg Lees says, I'm actually loving the idea of the Big Ten and the SEC doing their own playoff. No team from any other conference will win a trip again. The money is too much of a difference. It's true. What could help the other teams out there if they got smart is if the Big 12 and the ACC merged. If the Big 12 and the ACC would merge, then I think you might be able to see a competitive third power conference. But as they are, ACC and the Big 12 separate, they're never going to be able to compete with the Big 10 or the SEC. Now, if you merge them, they may have a small chance at being a viable third power conference. Brad Friends in the house. These guys' badge is deputized. Do you agree with schools choosing not to play spring games? That is a good question. I saw where the Long Turds canceled theirs. So, yeah, that didn't surprise me that Texas was one of the first teams to dip out. I think the reason why they're doing it, Brad, is because now with the NIL and transfer portal and people scouting other people's teams, and now people are like, why don't you ever cover high school recruiting? Why? Why should I recover? I can't speak tonight. Why should I cover high school football recruiting when people, man, we got a 5-star recruit. So what? Next year, if you don't give them their way, they don't get to start immediately, they're going to leave. So getting a 5-star recruit now means absolutely shit, because they're going to be in the transfer portal next year, or they're going to be on the field making mistakes and costing your team's games, because people are going to acquiesce to them and not do what they need to do and stand up to these spoiled-ass young athletes and their stupid-ass relatives and agents that give them an unrealistic view of how it's going to be when they get in the NFL. You can't just up and leave a team after 1 year, usually in the NFL. There are instances where that may have happened, but it's not the norm. 95% of the time, you have to sign probably at least a 3-year deal with the NFL. And they should be doing the same thing. But the NCAA don't want to say it's pay for play. They want to continue on with this facade and this mirage that we're not paying players. And we haven't been paying players since 1920. Shut the hell up and just go ahead and give them contracts, man. That way they can't just up and leave. Make them sign some kind of contract.